Assalamu alaikum everyone. It's my first video lecture of class 12 chapter for solid state. So in this chapter we will study about the all classifications of solid state. So we know that the classification of solid state meaning solid have two types, that one is crystalline solid and the second one is amorphous solid. So what is the crystalline solid? Substance in which arrangement of the constant particles is regular and extends in all the direction is known as crystalline solid. One of them example is sodium chloride. And the amorphous solid, so what's the amorphous solid? So the amorphous solid do not have any regular arrangement for only for a short range. That example is glass. So the crystalline solid have a long range arrangement, but the amorphous solid have no any long range arrangement. It have only short range arrangement, just like two atoms or more than three atoms. So the amorphous solid is also known as pseudo solid, virtual solid, and supercool liquid. Glass is a pseudo solid, mean it has flowed down very slowly. We was look on the building's mirror, that building's glass that have a thin size of top and the thick size in bottom. So why it's possible? This question is raised on your mind because the glass is a super cool liquid. That's mean if the reflection of a sun is come upon the mirror, is come upon the glass, is become melt because it is a super cool liquid, and when it melts is become thick on the upper on it's become the thin on the bottom side and become thin of upper side. So if we will talk about the properties of crystalline solid and amorphous solid, so the melting point is definite melting point, and amorphous solid have melts over a range. And if we will talk about the arrangement, so it have a long range order and it have a short range order. Heat of fusion, if we will talk about the heat of fusion, it have a definite heat of fusion and it have indefinite heat of fusion. So if we will talk about the what is heat of fusion, so the heat requirement for melting a 1 mole substance, it is called the heating it is called the heat of fusion. So then we'll talk about the compressibility. So it can't be compressed and it's compressed for some extent. And cutting edge, if we talk about the cutting edge, its cutting edge is soft and smooth and it have a rough. Example glass, its shape, it have a fixed shape, it have no any fixed shape. We will talk about the interfacial angle, its interfacial angle is fixed and its interfacial is not fixed. So the classification of solids on different binding forces. So the molecular solids, molecular solid have a three type: polar, non-polar, and hydrogen bonded. So its first one is polar. So the polar, its bonding is London forces, and its electrical conductivity is insulator, and the physical nature of soft. And if the physical nature is soft, and then the melting point is very low. Example Ar, CCl3, H2I2, and CO2. The next another one is non-polar. Non-polar, it have a dipole interaction and physical nature is soft. Example HCl and SO2. In, if the physical nature is soft, then the melting point is low and the electrical conductivity is insulator. Then it will talk about the hydrogen bonding. So we know that its bonding is hydrogen bonding, and if the bonding is hydrogen bonding, that's mean its melting point is high, and the melting point is high, that's mean its its a physical nature is a hard. And example of H2O ice, and it is electrical conductivity is insulated. Then we will talk about the covalent or network solid. So it will have a covalent solids, that mean it have a atoms, because atoms make a covalent bond and the bonding is covalent. And when the bonding is covalent, then the physical nature is hard, and the physical nature is hard, then the electrical conductivity, and then the electrical conductivity is it's insulator, and the melting point is high, and the bonding is covalent. Example one of them as SiO2, which is quartz, and C also diamond and ALN. And its constant particle is atom simply. Then the another one is ionic solid. Ionic solid have a have ionic solid have a strong bonding, hard bonding, and the bonding is ionic bonding. If it is a ionic solid, that it have a ionic bonding. Ionic bonding means that have a hard in physical nature and melting point is high. And the example is sodium chloride. We know that it is a example of ionic solid. And if we talk about the conductivity, so it is insulated in solid state but conducted in a aqueous or molten state. Then the metallic solid. So the metallic solid have a nature is very hard. Physical nature, it is hard. It is hard, that means melting point is high. Melting point is very high. And it is a metallic solid, that means it have a metallic bonding and metallic